we were like playing around at the end of taping that day, and they said, you know, it would be a great idea, Shangela, do your sugar daddy speech. And Bob's like, and I want you to throw the drink in my face. And I'm like, there's no way I'm throwing a drink in your face, Bob. And she goes, no, I want you to do it.
Shangela, hello, how are you?
Hi, boo, I am good. It is a lovely day. I'm rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I mean, Miss Thing, fresh off the Today Show. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Any chance to get out there and tell this story to let more people know about season 2 that's coming? I'm like, oh, sign me up, baby. We got to tell the people.
Well, I mean, sign me up for anything involving Shangela, so this is just a double win for me. It's always so lovely to see you. Back for season 2 of We're Here, coming to HBO Max October 11th, and we're going to get into it. But first, you know I can't get enough of my Grangela updates. I love seeing her on your Instagram. Is she excited to see her grandbaby back on TV?
I think it's, I know she's definitely excited to see me on TV, but she's always more excited to see me in person. So she's always like, over the last year and being home in Paris, Texas so much and being like right there with her and my mom, it makes it harder sometimes now to get back out and be on, working and traveling again and going, because like this last time when I left, I'm like, okay, Graham, I'm going to be going, but I'll see you. I'll be back soon. And she's like, I sure do miss you when you're gone. I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave. But she totally gets it, and it's great.
Love seeing her. Keep the updates on her coming. I love seeing her on your Instagram. Now, We're Here, season 2. I mean, I watched my screener of episode 1, and I was a full-on wreck. I mean, just a pool of tears by the end, just like I was on season 1. So congratulations on another fantastic season. And on season 2, you and Eureka and Bob travel to 5 different small towns across the U.S., again, using drag makeovers as a form of, I guess you could call it therapy for people. Now, a big production coming to town to make over people with expensive drag. Shangela, this begs the question, does this make you the sugar daddy coming to town with the gifts of expensive drag?
No, this makes IPC, the production company, and HBO the sugar parents, okay? Those are the sugars. I am just a nice little shaker of salt that comes in and adds a little additive to the moment. We are so excited to be able to have not 5, but 8 episodes. We have more than we had last season, this season. So it's really exciting to be able to tell so many more like diverse, inclusive, amazing stories from these small conservative towns across America. And what's really awesome is that we do get to bring this really exciting moment to this town, but the town also brings so much itself. So I can't wait for people to see it. You said you saw the first one, baby? Keep going. When you get to keep going, you're going to live. You're going to live.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Because the subjects are really interesting this season. I mean, it's people who are struggling to come out as non-binary, people who face homophobia in their families. Bob has actually said in a previous interview that you have differently abled people on this season, trans people. It all sounds remarkable. But your canvas on season 1, or on episode 1, is a straight father who we're literally introduced to as he's riding a tractor. So I'm wondering what you learned about yourself and your approach to these makeovers on season 1 that influenced how you approached maybe some of the more difficult makeovers on season 2.
Yeah, you're referring to Olin, my drag kid from episode 1 in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And you're right, he's an awesome father, he's an awesome husband, he's an awesome brother, and you're gonna see this real embodiment of what showing up as an ally really represents and the importance of it as we continue to build this community for so many of us in the LGBTQ community who don't have it, especially in these towns. So that's going to be really very, very, very interesting to watch. And one thing that I learned really in season 1 coming into season 2 in watching the show, it's one thing about filming it and experiencing it. And then when I had the opportunity to watch it, being home most all of 2020, I learned that in order for us to really get, the most heart out of these stories, Bob, Eureka, and I also had to be as open, honest, as vulnerable with our drag kids as they are with us. And we had to actually share more about ourselves even. You'll see that in this second season, that we share even more about our experiences, whether it's with coming out, with growing up as gay in small conservative places, or even as how we developed into who we are today. and how we go out there and represent ourselves with our fans. So you'll see a lot more of our stories as we continue to connect and amplify their stories.
And you are also consulting producers on this as well. So was there anything that you stepped in on as a producer on season 2? You know, where can we see your hand as a producer the most? Were there things that you were like, okay, this is how I want this is how I want that, to sort of get a better product in the end?
Yeah, and I've got to give a special shout out to the network, to HBO, to our show creators, Stephen Warren and Johnny Ingram, our director, Peter LaGreco, for really supporting our request to be brought on not only as on-air hosts, but also as consulting producers. And just recently, we were promoted to producers on the show for this season. So the way you'll see that is because, look, as drag entertainers, a lot of times people are like, you are the show. You're the glitz and the glamour. Get out there and do your thing. But they don't realize that drag entertainers, and not just me, Bob, and Eureka, but drag entertainers in general are some of the most intelligent, resourceful, professional, and talented people in the business, especially of entertainment. So where you'll see our hands really on this show is not only in how we, you know, manage and navigate in connecting with our drag kids and really helping them to achieve the best version of themselves that they want to, but also in the actual show itself, especially when it comes to the stage show. Baby, we've been doing this for 10 plus years. Add all of us up together, we got about 3 decades of drag between the 3 of us. So when it comes time for a show and putting a daughter in a show and rehearsing a number and bringing this moment, we said, we love y'all, and we work together so well with our team. I mean, it's not just us either. It's our design teams, our hair teams, our art directors and teams, and how they put together this whole moment with us, choreographer, and so many different people, the makeup artists that help to bring the show together. But Bob, Eureka, and I definitely manage each of our drag daughter shows, everything from selecting the music that they're going to perform. And we go back and forth all the time, like, that's good, but hold on, baby, I gotta really, because you want to deliver the moment, you know? It's more than just a show. We could put them up there, anybody, and be like, okay, we're gonna just do this Diddy number. But no, we want them to have a message, to really feel a connection with the music that they're performing.
Yeah, it does come through that this is a really lived in, and you know, there's a lot of experience going into this. This isn't just throwing on a dress and going on stage and calling it a day. There's a lot of thought that goes into this. And I don't want to spoil too much, but the trailer does, I mean, it teases motorcycles and leather. It looks like maybe a wedding dress at some point. So what are the wildest things that you can tease about what we'll see coming up?
Well, I thought we had gotten the wildest out of season 1 when Bob, Eureka, and I were in full drag in the back of a monster truck at a monster truck rally in the middle of nowhere with people watching, and us, Eureka, not even in the seatbelt, you know, as we're like big jumping. I said, now that's wild. That's it. But season 2, baby, there's even more. You know, with any return, you want it bigger, better, and more, you know, more pizzazz. And this one definitely has that. So everyone needs to just stay tuned to see what are the antics that we all somehow get ourselves involved in, but how we still hold true to what this show is.
Well, there is a shot in the trailer that everybody was talking about. It's the shot of Bob, who comes out looking like she's ready for All-Stars. She steps out and says, I've had a little work done. So what is going on there? I mean, was that a surprise to you all?
Okay, I'm going to give this to you. So in season 2, we decided, like, you know what? We should, the 3 of us, like, come up with a theme. Like, let's come up with a theme for each of the, when we first enter the cities, like our entrance looks, because we wanted to kind of be cohesive, but not necessarily have to be exactly the same in any way. But so we decided for when we filmed Temecula, that's the Temecula, California episode, that it was Temecula, it's wine country. So let's be like bougie. Let's be like the Real Housewives of Temecula. Like we're all coming in as like housewives, you know, fabulous. So I was like, ooh, I know I'm going to be like Elle Woods, you know, with the pink and the, you know, that gig. Eureka was like, you know, Dynasty Diva with the puppies in the bag. And then Bob got out the car, girl. And she had the titties and and the work done up here. I said, oh, this woman is really pulling the pageant today. She is for sure pulling the pageant on today. It was hilarious. And we had so much fun. Something you won't see in there that didn't make the edit, but I love this. We were like playing around at the end of taping that day, and they said, you know what would be a great idea? Shangela, do your sugar daddy speech. And Bob's like, and I want you to throw the drink in my face. And I'm like, there's no way I'm throwing a drink in your face, Bob. And she goes, no, I want you to do it. And I'm like, girl, first of all, your face might melt off, okay? These are all prosthetic pieces.
Oh my God.
But we filmed it, and we filmed that take like 5 times where I just took the wine glass and went, shoo, every time, like she'd go, oh, just because you have a sugar daddy. And I was like, oh, hold on, sweetheart. Let's get it together before you want to read. I don't have a sugar daddy. I never had a sugar daddy. If I wanted a sugar daddy, yes, I probably can go out and get one because I am what? Sickening. And then I cut the other part and threw the glass, and they'd be like, all right, cut. Let's clean Bob off. Let's do it again. And I was like, yes.
Oh God. So that doesn't appear in the show, though. We're not going to see that.
No, but I have it on my phone. So don't worry. If it don't make the show, Cheyenne will post it on the Instagram as long as they don't, put me in like IG jail.
Oh, I cannot wait for that. Thank you for revealing that. No, there's also, I want to make sure I ask you about, there's an important location this season. Selma is on the list.
Yes.
And I know that you got to stand on the Edmund Pettus Bridge where civil rights activists marched in 1965. So can you describe to me how that moment felt to you to be standing there 60 years later on that bridge in full drag? What did that moment mean to you?
If I can even describe the feeling, because it's like, you think of the history of that bridge, you think of the trauma that bridge holds, you think of the significance of the moment that, so many people made the attempt to march across that bridge and were beaten in Bloody Sunday, the people who survived, the people who came back and then triumphantly marched across, fighting for equality. And here we are in 2021, especially as Black people, myself as a Black person, as LGBTQIA plus people, we're still fighting for equality. We're fighting discrimination. We're fighting for acceptance and an equal treatment for all people. And so standing on that bridge as a Black gay person raised in the South, as someone who had come to that town to help amplify the voices and hopefully find a community of support for the gays there, but also as a person that understood the significance of the moment, it was very powerful. And I hope that more people, and after watching this episode, understand the significance of Selma, see the heart of Selma, in addition to the history of Selma, and really have a greater understanding.
Mm-hmm. Does it feel like in a certain way that, since you are changing so many lives on this show, from the people who are on it to people who are watching it and sort of advocating for understanding and equality on the show, that you are engaging in a different type of activism through the influence that you're putting up on this show?
Yeah, Joey, I think we're all activists. We all have the potential to be activists in our daily lives. There's one thing that's kind of the group super visible part of activism, where we're out there and we're marching and we are trying to change laws and making a visible effort. But there's also all of us in our day-to-day lives that have the opportunity to create change, to support change, to initiate change, just by our conversations, and sometimes just by the way we live our life. I think that if you, especially part of our gay community, if you are able to stand tall in who you are, if you're able to look in the mirror and love all parts of yourself, if you're able to walk with your head high out there in the streets and proudly say, I am a gay person, I am a queer person, and I love and support myself and others who are like me, and maybe not even like me, but I want for us all to get to a place that is about equality. If you're that person, then you are an activist in your own way, because you never know what person may see you and see how much you love and respect yourself and go, oh, okay, I get it. Maybe my mind has been changed about the stereotype that I had against one person or one particular community. So do I think that we're activists in the way that we're, carrying this show along? I think there is activism in it for sure, but you don't have to have a TV show to be an activist. We can all do it in our daily lives.
Very beautifully said. Speaking of the people whose lives you did change on season 1, have you kept up with any of the subjects from season 1? And do you know if any of them have kept up with the art of drag?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, I'm a working mom, okay? So I don't get to communicate with everybody as much as I I would like to. Not even my mom. You heard my grandma say she missed me, okay? I'm trying to divide time. But yes, I will always have a special place for all of my drag kids that we go through this experience with on the show. That's from season 1 and season 2. And I have this year been able to keep up with a number of them, and I'm still connecting even this week. You know, I try to like text them and say, hey, we're going to be on the Today Show, or I'm doing this IG with Joy Novi. I saw a preview of your episode. It's going to be super awesome. So I've got some calls still to make. But I just talked to Olin, for example, this morning, my daughter from Spartanburg, the first episode. And he was like, I didn't see Today's Show, but my sister Linda called me, and I ran home from work to go and catch it because I had recorded it. I'm like, awesome. You know, and then his brother texts me, and he's like, oh, Lord, I think my brother's going to be coming on tour with me soon. It's going to be awesome. You know, it's awesome to be able to keep in touch with them and see their understanding and commitment, and just the conversations that they're having after I'm gone. You feel like, at least I totally feel like what we have done in these towns, it really does matter. It's not just for TV. It's not a scripted show. This is a real life docuseries. And when you go to these places and you have this impact, it doesn't just go away when you pack up and drive off. And I'm so grateful that, you know, the people continue to explore this. And who knows, you know, maybe Shangela gonna take all her kids on tour one day. You never know. I'll be like, I had a dream. I might do that. Mama Rose.
Oh, I would love to see it. Yes, absolutely would love to see it. And I know that there is, you know, season 2 hasn't even started yet, but there's no announcement. But have you thought about what a potential season 3 might look like? You know, would you go to other countries potentially?
You know, I get that question a lot because the show airing on HBO and HBO Max does air in a lot of other countries around the world. I love that. If we get a season 3, I'd be so very grateful and happy, and we'll continue to go out there and do the job, which is really not even about me as much as it is about showcasing these stories, amplifying these voices. There are so many towns. Think about it. We get to tell 3 stories per episode. This season, 8 episodes. That's 24 stories. Last season, it was 5 with daughters, so like 15 stories. 15 and 24, 39, right? So we've been able to tell 39 stories out of an entire world of LGBTQIA plus people who all have a story that deserves to be told, people who deserve to be celebrated or uplifted or just feel like they're not isolated and alone. So if we got a chance to do a season 3, 4, 15, honey, I would be thrilled because the people deserve it.
We're here in space, even. I feel like that's the goal.
Look, call the Bezos or whoever is flying folks up there. They're taking William Shat. Now, come on, take William Shangela. William Shangela. That don't sound good. That does not sound good. No, I don't want that.
We'll get to that. That's in the future. Now, the last thing I want to ask you is, you know, because your season 2 sister, Miss Kylie Sonique Love, had a very big year this year, won All-Stars. And you were there on season 2 when she came out on national TV. So I'm wondering what your thoughts are on her winning and what that was like to sort of be there from at the beginning when she sort of blazed a trail on reality TV and through to now.
It's this. You got to understand, I'm so blessed to have so many amazing sisters. And like I said, I don't get to talk to everybody every day, but all the girls know that they can call me up. If you shoot me a text, I'm going to hit you back. You know, you drop me a DM, you know, I got love for everybody. And I have a lot of love for Sonique. You have to, when I saw that woman take that dive and then throw it into a front row and then keep on performing, laying on the jacket, I said, that's a show, girl. That's my sister. I celebrated her win so much. I celebrate her win to this day because she's been my friend and a very honest, true, real person ever since season 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race. And even though I was only there on season 2 for 2 days, we created a bond. And when she moved from, I want to say she was in Atlanta or the Carolinas, and she moved over to LA, we were super close as well. And I remember she'd come over, we'd be sleeping on 2 ends of the couch, you know, because we fall asleep watching TV. Wake up the next day, she's going through her laptop, like pulling out music, because she's always been someone interested in music and singing and creating songs and stuff. And I always saw her drive. You know, it takes work to have a body like Sonique, okay? I know, because I be trying to go to the gym, and some days I fall off, and like this morning I just had this egg burrito, that's the ranchero huevos, honey, I let it have it. But, and to be able to maintain her gymnastics from season 2 to now, you know, like she's committed. She deserved the moment to shine on All Stars, and she completely deserved her win. I love it.
Yeah. And you were technically there on that set to give her a blessing through Willem's A Star Is Born wig that she wore for Snatch Game. So your energy was technically there for Miss Kylie the whole time.
Well, I guess I'll count that when they start saying, Shangela, how many times have you shown up on Drag Race? It'll go from 7, I think, to now 8. That'll be it.
900, yes.
Yeah, let it be told, honey. I love it.
Well, Shangela, thank you so much for always being so kind and just open in your interviews. This was really great. It was lovely to see you. And I can't encourage everybody enough to go check out We're Here Season 2 when it premieres October 11th on HBO Max. Shangela, is there anything else that you want to add?
I just want to say thank you for always supporting, you know, our efforts in uplifting queer people, because it means so much, especially on a huge platform like Entertainment Weekly. So thank you for that.